Hey, Calvary, my name is Sara Tindall, and just like you, I'm in the middle of one of the weirdest times of my life. Right now, things are so bizarre. I miss my friends, my job has changed, I've had to cancel a special trip, and I feel like I'm always worried about people in my life who might get sick or be impacted by this virus and the things happening in our world. And I know you've all been impacted too. Some of you became teachers overnight and you've had to create lesson plans and figure out how to educate your kids. Some of you are business owners who all of a sudden you're having to figure out how to do the things that you do and how to protect your business, and it's hard. Some of you are still going to work every day and or you're going to the grocery store, and every time you go, you wonder, am I going to get sick? And am I going to bring this home to my family? We're all refreshing the news all the time and taking our temperature, and we miss our church and we miss our friends and we miss being able to walk around our neighborhoods and not feel so weird. This is hard. And it's a significant thing that's happening not just here, but around our world. And we're all impacted by it. No one is exempt, which is so crazy. So it's okay if right now it feels overwhelming. It's okay if right now you're sad. It's okay if right now you're scared or lonely or worried or disappointed. All of those emotions are so valid and so real. This is significant. This is something that we are all going through, that we didn't expect, that nobody has done before, and that feels just so out of our control. And so I love that God never once says in his word to ignore our emotions. He never shames us for our emotions. He always says, "Come to me." He isn't afraid of them. He isn't worried that we have them. He just wants us to know that sometimes they can be louder than what's true. And so I love the Psalms because they're just such a beautiful picture of what it looks like to have feelings and truth woven together. And so I think I was in high school. God gave me Psalm 13. And so it's been a psalm that he has used again and again in my life. And what's so interesting is it is 6 verses. It's so short, but so powerful. And it's been a helpful tool for me as I process some of the stuff we're going through. Because the first 4 verses, the psalmist just lets out all of his emotions. And then the last 2 verses, it's like God comes in with a blanket and he says, "I hear you and I see you and I know it feels this way, but this is what is true." And so I'm going to read Psalm 13, listen to these words, let them be your guide, and let God use it. So, how long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer, Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. And my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. And so you can see in these verses that at first the psalmist, he is just crying out to God saying, why have you forgotten me? Why are these thoughts bothering me? Why is this sorrow in my heart? And I don't know about you, but right now, I know the feeling of the panic in my body and the despair in my heart and the weight of what the situation is. I know those feelings. And he lets all of them out. And then in verse 5, when it says, but I trust in your unfailing love, my heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. And so just like that psalmist, you and I, we can feel all these feelings, but we have to get to verse 5 to say, God, what is true? Things feel a certain way, but that does not mean they're true. And so what we can count on is that we can trust God's unfailing love. We can rejoice because he has saved us. And we can sing his praise because he has been so good to us. And so right now, we have to remember the good he has done and believe he is still doing good. And so Calvary, I know this is hard and I know it is scary and I know your feelings will feel so big and so overwhelming. But God is bigger and he is with us and he loves us and we can rejoice because he has been good. And so we love you and we are here for you. Let's keep remembering what is true.